Who you gonna call right now? I'm here. Right now. I mean, really, who are you gonna call, right? Uh-oh. See, we do. We listened to the best music. Dancing Machine. Yeah, I was listening to that in my kitchen before. I was going to say before you called, but you didn't call. You're just here and I'm here. And did I make it? Jenna is live now. I am live. And Linda Siriano, Patty Loman, Julie Luce, and 2 other lurkers. Hi, lurkers. What up? It is Thursday, April 29th, 2021. My name is Jenna Mammina, and you have stumbled or have intended upon, yeah, exactly, Dance Machine. Oh, I had a whole dance. Me and Debbie Fairley in 5th grade did a dance to Dance Machine, and I still know part of the choreography. So yeah, I was doing that tonight in the kitchen. Julie, what's up? Rob Morocco, how you doing, sir? Canada calling. So yeah, it's Thursday. And you know, for many years, it felt like, for many months, it was Corona Roki on Thursdays. Stacy, hey, I'm a hit. Share the show. Share the show, everybody. Make it a hit. Get your friends. Invite some friends. I can't invite anybody because I'm on Zoom, but you can invite people right now to the show because this show, I think, is going to be really fun because I have a super cool guest for Conversations with the Creatives. The 3rd Thursday of every month is Corona Roki. The other Thursdays are Conversations with the Creatives. Last week, Cinda. I mean, right? Cinda. Whoa, whoa. Worthy of sharing and YouTubing, and it got so many people watch that show. But yay! Rob Morocco, hey, thanks for sending me that. Crazy what they do. I've never seen that before. I came from such a different place, but that's not where we talk about it. We don't talk about, that's just not pretty right there. Those are my herbs and stuff. But that's Lillian's sushi outfit. Hey, Bill, can I just share on my Facebook? Yeah, you can share the show. Yeah, you can go to your page where it allows you to share the show. Right underneath. Because I don't think you can make it a watch party anymore. But anyway, it's Thursday. Tomorrow morning, Armando will be here. Tomorrow night, it's display and share. Share if you believe in the freedom. I'm telling you, it's all about display and share. I think I might be waiting for my luggage during display and share. I think. Or I will be, if everything goes like awesome, we might be in one of the coolest houses. Hey, Melanie Demore, what up, girl? We may be in a home that I call the art house. My family calls it the art house, and where we will be staying. So if not, we'll be on the road with Kathy and Mama Grace and Lily and Pearl, and it's a party. It is a party, and it starts, well, it already started. It started like, I don't know, 50 some years ago. But hey, William. Hey, Dave Love. Make it a watch party because today is still Ruth Love's birthday, everybody. Hello, Ruth Love. Happy birthday. I love you. Jay Smith. Seems like everything is working. I have to go on here and edit the privacy. So it seems to be working. But I'm still having a little challenge with the Instagram, my friend. But I loved your little keyboard thing. And then Saturday, one more Saturday morning with Jeff Metzger. He's in Mexico. Saturday night, Gary Lambert's in New York. Sunday, who knows? But right now, Thursday, April 29th, on 11/11 with Jenna, is someone that I first saw at Kimball's East in like 1990, two, I think, and then went over to Catalina, and I know Queen Ruth, it's her birthday, right? Right. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy's so cool. He's what we would refer to as bomb shit cool. Marion Meadows. See? Hey, he's flying in. What's up?
Hi there.
Hi there.
What's up, Jenna?
You're
I
just
like
like,
all the sounds. I got to get my own sound effects.
you do. I know. You get them up.
Somebody walking, Foley artist. So, how's it going?
It's going great. I used to work with a really cool Foley artist. Carol. Hi, Carol. Oh, there's people from all over the place right now. New York, California, Mexico, Chicago,
Man,
Canada.
that's what's up.
And this
Great.
is a really good friend of mine I'd like you to meet.
Oh,
It's been my housemate since March 23rd, which is the year the 11/11 has been on for 1 year since March 23rd, and I've had this balloon and it's been here ever since, and I can't figure out why
still flying.
it's still
Wow.
flying high.
It's got that magic helium.
Kira Kaplinski
Ever.
says, "Hi, Marion."
Who's that?
Kira, Kira
Oh, yeah,
Kaplinski.
Kara. A fantastic artist and photographer. She's awesome.
Hi, Kira. Thanks for
I like
saying
where she lives.
hi.
She
And
has all kinds of exotic stuff around her house. She's on the water. It's awesome.
Awesome. Well,
Hey,
PA, hi
Kara.
Tony. There's other horn players here tonight. It's, people knew what was going on, what's happening.
Nice.
So, what's happening?
Well, listen, we did our first jazz festival this past weekend, and it felt pretty close to normal. You know, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It felt wonderful. It kind of reaffirms that whole thing that we have as musicians that we look so forward to when we know we're going to see each other, and people just don't know. It's like our community is the best, and
And then when you do gigs, like when we did gigs, like right during the beginning of COVID, or in this summer, I did some gigs last
mhm,
summer, whatever it was last summer, and at the end of the gig, you couldn't hug. You were like,
right. Yeah, well, we
hey.
were hugging this. We were hugging.
Right. So that's what I was going to ask
Yeah.
you. So is the hugging going on? Okay.
Oh yeah, hugging. A lot of hugging going on. Yeah, and a lot of great music going on, and and with the fans, we got a chance to be with our fans again and friends. So yeah, we're on our way now. So we're looking good. The music was up. We were just waiting for our cue. we, Everybody had the headphones on during the pandemic. They were listening to music. It's the court jesters that we are, because that's our job, to make sure
Oh, they were
everyone is
here.
okay.
They were here on
Yeah.
11. And thank you for
Mhm.
being you were at our on our I said to my mom, I said, Marion Meadows. She goes, he was there on Christmas Eve. And I said, yeah.
Was it? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we sure did.
So
We've
thank
had some fun ones.
yeah.
Happy birthday, Ruth Love.
Ruth
We love
love.
you, Ruth Love, and love Ruth. She's the queen bee. She keeps all this extended family together. She's the one. If it weren't for her, we all be in trouble. Ruth, she runs the whole show. I know she's
So
laughing.
how big is your band?
Sorry.
You say you went out with your guys. What's the format? What's your band?
Okay, I was the special guest with Norman Brown. So
Oh,
we had an all-star band. We had John Roberts on drums, Sam Sims on the bass, Norman on guitar, of course, Gail Johnson on keyboards, and Phil Hamilton on key. It was like amazing. We had the horn players from Atlanta, great cats, and they do all the movie stuff for Tyler Perry,
oh,
you
fun.
know. Yeah. So it was a great band. So big band, and awesome, just awesome.
And it was a festival. Smooth Jazz Festival, music
It
festival.
was the Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze is one of the bigger festivals, and it's let's see, it's just it may be their normal time of the year. You know, everybody's had to defer to different dates, but um, they were able to open up a little bit sooner than other states, I guess, for their festival. So it's all starting to come together. More and more are coming along, and I think we're going to see a lot, you know, a lot more normalcy coming to the scene. It really felt almost normal, to tell you the truth.
Were people
Yeah.
socially distanced out? Like, was it an outdoor venue? I'm
Yeah.
ass-
So it was outdoors, so they were able to spread out. And although we didn't have much, you know, virtual contact with our fans like we normally do, it's just that, you know, the musicians themselves, we were, you know, we were all at the same hotel. We kept seeing each
I was
other
gonna
and
say,
running
did you all hang? Was there like
big.
jams and
Yeah,
hang?
you know, the backstage thing. That's what we're so used to. We look forward to that. That's like, you know,
The hang. It's about the
that's the
hang.
hang. People don't know it's the hang. You know. You
And
know, you're getting ready to start working, right? Aren't you?
next Friday, a week from tomorrow night, I have my first gig. It's in,
Out of town?
yeah, in Berkeley.
Oh, sweet.
Mhm. Sold out.
Or,
And then I go up, then I go to Seattle. I'm doing some
mhm.
recording. I'm going out to do 3 different recordings and then work with my band. And then I work with this quartet in Northern California, up near Mendocino and
Oh,
Lake
okay. Yeah. Well, you know, that was in is it where Fantasy Studios was, at Berkeley?
Berkeley.
Because I recorded there. It was great. I recorded at Fantasy Studios with Roy Oviedo, you
Right.
know, and you know, he gave me that whole West Coast, North, you know, Bay Area sound vibe. It was so just real cool,
I'm
you
actually
know.
working with him on the 9th.
Oh, are you? Well, tell him I said hello.
I will.
Yeah,
He's
we did a
got a
record
really great
with
studio at his house and uh,
yeah.
what kind of quartet? I have a band called Jenna and the Charmers with a guitar player by the name of Steve Bissinger and Jeremy Steinkohler on drums and this really great bass player that shall remain nameless for the moment. But it's fun. It's a good band. And then the things with Ray ends up being he and I get together and we write. We
Oh,
just
you do?
write
Yeah.
and
Well, he's a
talk.
great cat.
We
Very
just
talented.
we talk and laugh and eat.
Yeah. Well, tell myself I did speak to him a while back, and I know he and I will probably work together again. You know, it's just inevitable. I
Well,
mean, we
maybe
just have
you'll
to.
work on my project.
Absolutely. I'd love to. There you go.
There you
You
go.
heard it first, right here. Done.
Marion Meadows is going to be on our project, Ray. Ray won't be on the show. He's too shy.
Really?
He watches, but he doesn't. He won't. He says, I'm kind of nervous on
Come
it.
on, Race. Just log in right now.
So, what did you have for lunch today?
Let's see. Actually, I did salmon and eggs together, both. Yeah,
Nice.
with some peppers and, you know, light. And that's all. I'm a pescatarian,
Yeah.
so I don't eat any meat. Yeah.
And Dave Love, I tried to get him on something. Dave said you tried to. Oh, you tried to get Ray on? Yeah, he won't do it. He's one of the first people that called me when everything started to go down. And him and Patty Cathcart, we were on the phone talking about what we thought was going to happen. And it kind of happened. It was like, 2021, spring, summerish kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're in Nashville right now.
Yeah, Nashville. I love Nashville. It's a great town, and it's just full of life and obviously the music, but the people, they have a warm heart.
Yeah. How
And
long have you lived there?
this is 6 years for me here, actually. Previously, I was in Arizona. I mean, Arizona was nice. You know, I just don't feel the culture there as much as I do here. There's so much rich culture here,
Yeah, there is.
and you know, it's just, as soon as you step off the plane, you feel it. And if you do happen to go out and play with some of the musicians here, it's just so it really is very organic here. I mean, the players are so true, and
They
it's
come
just
from the
it's
right
just awesome.
place.
They really do. They really do. And
You by any chance
I
know
was
Matt Rawlings?
sorry.
You know Matt Rawlings?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I was in a bar one night here, even though I don't go to bars that much here, but I was in one and Chris Stapleton came in and played.
Really?
Oh my,
Well, everybody likes Nashville, and Nashville has become like, it's like the Beverly Hills of Nashville.
I guess it is. Yeah. Because the real estate's very high now.
Yeah.
It's
My
very expensive.
cousin's
It
selling
went LA.
right now.
They went LA on them. You know,
Oh, well, everybody from LA moved to Nashville.
I
They
guess
either
so.
moved to Nashville or New Orleans.
Yeah. Well, it's a great town. I see why they would want to come here because it does have an attraction, and as long as it stays like that. I mean, I love the very friendly, you know, vibe of Nashville. People are very friendly, and they'll say hello. I mean, in my neighborhood, you walk down the street, it's almost like the Stepford Wives. Everybody waved. I mean, that's beautiful. I love that. They
And
just say hello. How
it's
easy it
really,
is to just say hello to people. It's a
yeah.
very easy, comforting thing. You put such comfort out when you just say hello. How's your day going?
Yeah.
You know.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in West Virginia. My dad didn't want to be a coal miner, so you know, he and my uncle worked it out so that they could, eventually get to Connecticut and New York, and and get some education and get jobs outside of coal mining, and that's what they did. So then I moved to Connecticut, Stamford, outside of New York City. So everything I did growing up was New York City related, because it was always the train into the city, the train into New York, and you could go into New York a million times, and each experience would be different. You can ask anyone. People that live in New York or live out in Brooklyn, when they go into Manhattan, they go every time, and as many times you've been,
So
every time it's a whole new experience.
walk out.
Anyone that's ever been to New York, it's like every time I've gone there, it's not there's nothing been normal about going into New York City, which makes it such an amazing city. And when I briefly lived there, and it was like that every day. It was such an adventure, and just the top of its game, and I mean, just the best of the best people in the world at whatever they did. If they were on Broadway or musicians or chefs, it was the best of the best of the best. So they raised the bar on when you showed up doing what you think you do in New York. You get your feelings hurt because they tell you, look, we already got that, bro.
What are you going to bring to the table?
What you bring into the table, right? They'll tell you, but they would always say, if you're not ready this week, come back next week. So get prepared, because that's what we do here. We just do it raw.
Do you go when you're in New York? Would you go and sit in at different clubs?
What we used to back in the day. There was a Blue Note Jam, and there were other jams in the village and stuff. Back in
Kitchen
the day.
up.
And you remember years ago, we used to play in a lot of clubs. There were lots of clubs to play in,
For that?
which really does not exist much anymore. As a matter of fact, there are clubs in New York now that when the young kids, there's so many kids that want to play, that when they show up at the club makes them pay to play.
Right.
They don't even get paid. They have to pay the club to pay just so they could be heard. And, and I get it, but that wasn't the case with us. We always had a gig, it was a club, we made good money too.
Do you remember the first time on the subway by yourself?
I don't, but I think it was probably pretty scary. I don't remember the very first time. I do remember one time I was rehearsing with a band in Brooklyn. I lived out in Westchester, so I'd have to take the train in and then get on the subway and go out to Hoyt Schermerhorn, all the way out to Bed-Stuy.
That's deep.
And a gang got on, like back then they really had the gangs that in New York City that would get on the train. And I had all three horns. So I said, oh, this might not turn out too good.
Marion,
Yeah.
you froze for a second. So I think you said gang,
Oh.
and then that was it.
Yeah,
Right?
I was on the train going out to my rehearsal in Brooklyn. And then, they really had the gangs back then that went around in gangs. So, and they got on the train and they were looking at me like, 'cause they had all the horns, like, we're probably going to get one or two of these horns. So I started like acting like a crazy person. Did I lose you? Are you there? You guys there? Did I lose you again?
It's there.
Okay, it's back. Okay. Anyway, so I averted what I thought could have been a problem by just acting like a crazy man on the train. And they were like, leave that guy alone. He's a nut.
Start barking, or yeah, I've done that 3 o'clock in the morning by myself.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, tough city, tough city.
start dancing in your chair, go to the bathroom, or whatever you have to do to keep them away. But do you remember about what age maybe that you first were on the subway? Like, were you 10? Were you 12? Were you?
No, it would have been later for me because unless I was going into the city with my parents, which I never really did until I became older, that I would go into New York City because that wasn't really something my parents did. They weren't really going into New York City type people. They would go in every now and then. But if we did, my father drove in, parked in the parking lot. We like went to somewhere in Times Square or something, but never on the subway. So that came later with my friends. As a matter of fact, my first experience going to New York by myself with my friends, I was 13. And yeah, my friends were like a little older and they were like pot smokers. And I didn't smoke pot then, but you know, I was one of the young musicians in the crew. And they said they were going to sneak into New York. You know, mothers and back in those days, it would be over. Your life is over. The mothers back in our day, it was cancellation. You're done for the rest of your life. So I said, look, I can't mess this up.
I don't want to
My
die
mother,
right now.
my mother can't find out. I agreed to go. But they were going to see Grand Funk Railroad, Jethro Tull, Carlos Santana, and BB King, all in the same show at the
Sounds like
Fillmore.
a Bill Graham production, exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. And it was amazing. We did go into the city. And it was, like I said, it was BB King. So all I could think of is like, when this show is over, dude, we have to get to the train and get home because my mother will smell a rat. We have to get back because, you know, I was staying over at Ralph Carruthers' house. Anyway, but the cool part of the story is, you know, Jethro Tull comes out. It's amazing. He's playing the flute with the blue lights. And then, you know, you got Grand Funk Railroad. And then Carlos Santana comes out. It was during the Evil Ways days. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. Carlos Santana, Evil Ways Day. And then BB King comes out and it's like in his heyday and he's just killing it. Okay, the concert's over. I'm drained. It's my first rock concert. Whoo. That's it. I'm done.
7 hours, 8 hours. It wasn't like
yes, it was so long. It was so long. So anyway, after the show, my friends went off to smoke a joint. And I said, I gotta wait here. You guys gotta get back because we have to get to the train. You know, my mother's gonna kill me. So anyway, BB King comes out. He's out of the side door, and he just comes out. He's not even with anybody. His car's coming around to pick him up. So he steps out and he sees me. And he goes, hey, little man, what are you doing just standing here by yourself? And I go, oh my God. I said, Mr. King, I just saw your show. It was unbelievable. I said, I'm just waiting for my friends. I said, but here's the thing. I have to get home. My mother's going to kick my... I said that to BB King. I swear to God. I said that. And he said, well, look. Yeah, he said, I'm going to wait with you till your friends get here. And they just came back. They were coming right back and he was waiting with me for a second. And I said, see you later. And then his car came and picked him up. So anyway, years later, Fred says I'm opening for BB King. And I went to his dressing room and I said, Mr. King, years ago, there was a little kid out in front of the Fillmore and you said you stand with him till his friends came back. He goes, wait a minute. He said his mother was going to kick his ass if he didn't get home. I said, I'm that little kid. And he says, man, was that you? I go, yeah, that was me. He goes like, see, there you go. That's the whole thing right there. Isn't that great? My mother didn't find out.
And she did not.
I told her years later, though.
I was going to say.
I did tell her. Yeah. And then you know what mother said? I knew you went.
Of course I knew where you went. They knew everything. We used to sneak to Chicago all the time, so.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And there was no train at the time. You just got in somebody's car and hoped that you didn't run out of gas with all the I'll give you $1.50, $2 for gas. Okay, let's go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And those are the cities that stay open till 4 or 5 in the morning. New York, Chicago, even LA doesn't stay open past 2 o'clock.
Mm-mm. No, no,
Something
New
with that.
York, you can do whatever, find whatever.
We didn't even
But
go out until 11 o'clock in New York. You didn't even get ready to go out until around 11. You watch America's Most Wanted or something on Saturday night.
wow, great. Yeah, now I'm ready.
Yeah.
Where in the
Yeah.
city
No.
did you live?
When I lived there, I shared an apartment with my friend Gilmore, who used to play with Jimmy Mail and the guys all from the Diodato band back in the day, and Gilmore DeGap. And he had a little place, it was a little studio, but it was up on Central Park around 71st Street, up around there. So it was awesome. It was rent controlled, and the day that he moved, I mean, it was his lease. The day we moved out, it went to $4,000 from $750 to $4,000. Yeah, so it was right on Central Park, but it was nice. It was great. A lot of musicians up, on Broadway, north of, North Broadway in New York City. A lot of musicians up there, and yeah, it was very cool.
I had a friend that had a pre-war apartment. She lived there. Let's see. So she died probably 10 years ago. She lived in an apartment for 49 years at
Oh wow,
Central Park, 72nd and Central Park West.
that was rent control.
Rent control, but it was the whole floor.
Wow.
Rent
So it's
control,
probably only still like 1,500 a month or something.
right. And she had like her kitchen was as big as, as anybody's whole apartment
Wow.
was. And
Wow.
um, then in her 49th year, they said, by the way, at your 50th year, that like whatever date, January 1st is 50 years, your rent control goes away.
Oh, so it had an expiration date for rent control.
50-year rent
50
control.
years.
She
She
died
wrote it to the end.
2 months before.
She did. Oh my goodness. Wow.
She was like, if I, she
Yeah.
was like, okay,
Where
I'll
am I
be.
going? 50 years.
Yeah, I know where I'm going. She left, so I'm not gonna,
Wow.
because it was a ridiculous amount that it was gonna go to, because it was the whole
Of
floor.
course. Yeah. I was going to get ready to go to like 30,000 a month
Right,
or something. Easy. Yeah.
pretty much.
I mean, they sell those things for 20 million, 30 million now. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
friend of mine just sold his building in Chelsea on
Mm.
22nd, like 8th Avenue. Sold a 4-story building in Chelsea.
Woo.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
That's
he,
I got a kick out of years ago when BMG decides, they're building in New York City, and they had taken over Arista Records and RCA Records. They bought those out, and Doubleday Books and a whole bunch of other stuff. But they built their building. So in other words, they bought the corner of 45th and Broadway.
oh
What
goodness.
kind of money is that? 45th and Broadway. They bought the whole corner and built up like 55 stories. That's some serious money.
Are they still there?
Oh, I'm sure they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Since I left when I left BMG, I went with Dave Love over at Heads Up.
Love.
And
Who's Dave Love? Dave
yeah,
Love.
my man,
He's
Loving Love from the Love Boat.
he's so funny. I
That's
know a
my
lot of
dude.
funny people. I don't know too many funnier than Dave Love. I'm trying to think.
No, you got to get up early to be Dave. He's a deep cat. You got to get up early to be Dave at the
I
game.
don't even think that'll help. Getting up
No,
early,
it wouldn't help.
late.
But I have never seen anybody who works harder than Dave. That's I set my clock by Dave. Dave is like, woo. I said, man, Dave, you got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
He's a bad cat. Yeah. But anyway, when he and I got together, it was a wonderful experience. We had making great records together. And we just have been the best of friends for all these years.
Is that how you met? When he was, did you meet when he was at Heads Up? When that was?
Yeah, he already had his label, and I was still assigned to BMG, and we were kind of courting each other, because he was saying, we would love to have you over in our family, and eventually that did work out. So, and we were friends before that, way before that even happened. Yeah, we would see each other at conventions and stuff, and so yeah, he was always such a cool guy. such a gentleman, and such a straight shooter, Dave. Dave will call me up. He'll say, he'll get on my case, like, dude, he'll get on my case. That's when you know you have a good friend. He gets in your ass when he needs you to get something done. And that's why I love him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, he's a big reason why I mean, I was dedicated to doing this, but he has like been supportive from day 5 probably on the show,
Yeah.
and has made it. I mean, I don't know if you see all the collages that he makes to advertise the shows. Just that alone, there's like 180 of them. But
Wow.
just
Yeah.
that in itself, and that's nothing compared to, I mean, like what he's done with doing Corona Roki and coming up with the conversations, and then I talked to him, and he's doing a whole other thing. We're both, and this past year, plus I have set my clock. Oh, thank you, Julie Luce. Thank you. But yeah, Dave and Ruth have been, hold on. Dave and Ruth. It's true. It's true. He's the one that got me originally. I think the first time you were on, I was still doing this kind of thing. Okay, Marion, hold on. Let me get you to my iPad. And then he kept saying, you got to go to Zoom, Jenny. I'm like, I don't know Zoom. I don't know how to do that, Jenna. Just do it. And I jumped because it was the right thing to do. Because Dave Love said it's the right thing to do. So I did it.
That's why we have, people in our lives. And I always say that if we concentrate on all the things that we do to keep each other moving forward with a real concern for that, we all benefit from it. Dave has just been such a rock in many, many ways for me throughout my personal life. But I'm just saying, friends like that, and colleagues, who just keep humanity moving in the right direction. That's the kind of people I want to be around. When we first were talking about being back with the musicians, the thing I do miss the most is that this is a community of people who, when you walk in the door, or if the curtains close and you're playing a horn or whatever, your keyboards or something, well, we don't know what color we are. We don't know if you're a man or a woman. And it never, ever mattered when the curtain opened for us. We never even saw it, even when the curtain was open. That's the whole point. For us in our community, everyone is welcome. And we've always been that way. It's not something that progressed. From the day I became a musician, I was always welcomed and loved and nurtured in this community, And if it's somebody in this community that doesn't get that, well, that's their problem, because the rest of us do get it. And you very seldom would ever even see that anyway. So it's just been the most, and I told my mom before she passed away, Mom, I am so glad that I became a musician, because this is a community that has kept me on the better side of humanity my whole life. I've lived on the best side of it. You can't tell me that there are all these problems based on some other nonsense. It's just how people care for themselves and care for everyone else, And I like when I say, so much easier to say hello to people than to have a puss on your face, And but I refuse to hear people say it's so hard. There's all these obstacles in the way and all this racism and all this kind of, no, it's just love. Come on. There's a reason that people say that over and over again.
Come from love.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the reason that people chant that mantra. It's not corny. It's not a corny mantra, because at the end of it, everybody says to themselves behind closed doors, who do I love people, and do I love myself, and do people love me? Because it's really the love, not like, am I loving, and so, as corny as it sounds, it is the only thing that we all come back to eventually, when we're just standing in the mirror and there's no one else around. It's like, what did you do to contribute to, what we all know, it's no secret what we're all trying to do anymore in the world, and especially in this country. It's really kind of simple now. Okay, so it's things that you need to, just be humble to that. When you're in Thailand, they greet you with it's wonderful to be in your company. It's wonderful now to just be in your presence right now. I'm honored to be in your presence. And what part can I play in your spiritual journey? So anyway, so seeing the musicians this weekend, I truly felt that. I saw my old friends, Michael Linton and Paul Taylor and Vincent and Gala. They have a group called Sax to the Max.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is great because in no way was I expecting to, because I started a group. Dave and I started a thing years ago called Gentlemen of the Night, and then it was another group, and we did Sax in the City. So we made these tours. Well, those guys said to me, we wouldn't even be this band Sax to the Rack if it weren't for you, because you started this. And I thought that was really cool, because they're doing quite well at their tour. And I just felt as there was something else I needed to do right now. So that's why I didn't do it. But they're a great combination. And I'm so happy for them, that they have that going on. But they were like so kind to say, hey, man, you're the reason that we even had this this tour going on. So I thought that was really cool. I wasn't expecting that.
That's really cool. What was your first instrument?
It was clarinet.
5th grade, clarinet?
Little clarinet. 3rd grade, actually, for me.
3rd grade.
Yeah. Because I was blowing on that little recorder in school. And my teacher says, how do you know how to play that thing? And I said, I don't really know. I was blowing something, a clair lune or something. and so she sent me to the band teacher, and she goes, well, maybe he'll, give you an instrument and you can join the band. And we had a band. You remember back in the day, elementary school had a band.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We had a band in elementary school.
They sneak me into schools when I'm going in to teach. I teach a workshop for kids, and they like, okay, come in the side door at 10:03 and I'll sneak you in so you can go teach kids music and art. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
See. Wow, that's crazy. But that's what, we had that. And he said, what do you want to play? I said, saxophone. He goes, man, everybody wants to play the saxophone. I said, what do you got? He said, clarinets. I go, oh, no. I said, I cannot walk home with that little clarinet case. I'm gonna get jacked up. I can't do it. He said, that's all I got. I said, okay. So I started playing clarinet, and I played clarinet all the way until high school, because by that time I had a teacher, and I was playing all the classical stuff, and I was being taught how to, read music and have a good tone. So I became a clarinet player. That's kind of why I migrated to the soprano. It's a voice that kind of calls me in that same register. And clarinet is a very difficult instrument to master. But I played it for so long that when I finally got to high school and I got a saxophone, well, the band teacher was very happy, because now not only was I in the orchestra and the concert band, but now I'm in the jazz band and the marching band.
There you go.
So they need another clarinet, a boop boop marching, or another saxophone. So, they just use and abuse you when you play all those instruments in high school. So you got to play in all the bands.
So did you even go to school then, or were you just playing in all the bands? I mean, how did you have time?
I still had to go to class. I just spent a lot of time in the band room, but I was really a science kid. I wasn't even trying to be a musician, to tell you the truth. That was not my goal. My goal.
Okay.
Yeah, my goal was animal science. I mean, I did all the chemistry and the biology, and that's what I was more into. But anyway, my senior year of high school was kind of like an epiphany in the way that I was really starting to play more jazz. I could always kind of improvise, and to some extent. I understood what improvising was all about, and building an improvisational melody. I could understand that even when I would mess around on my clarinet. And so by the time I went off to the summer of my senior year, we got a trip to go to Europe with the band that was an all-star band from our town. And we played all over Italy. And then they wrote an article in the newspaper on 18. And it says, it's Marion Meadows, he's a superstar. So,
in senior in high school, you were a superstar.
Well, of course, that's what they wrote. I don't think I was even close to being a superstar, but they dug it. And so I called my mom from Italy. I said, Mom, they wrote this article about me. And she goes, oh, that's so cute. She goes, you got to accept it. She called everything little, like my little horn, so little
horn. Oh, yeah.
She goes, that little music school, they sent a letter and you got accepted to Berklee School of Music.
Wow.
And I go, really? And so I had just gone on an audition on a field trip, not to really audition to go to the school. And I said, well, maybe I'll become a professional musician. And she hung up the phone on me. She's like, oh no, you didn't say that, because they were trying to avoid that they would ever hear me say I want to become a musician as opposed to being a scientist. They were like, okay, he's cool. He's going to be doing something because he's studying all this math and all this chemistry and stuff, and he's getting straight A, so he's cool. But I said those words, I think I want to become a musician. And she's like, oh no. When I got home from Europe, it was a hard sell. But they did let me go. They let me go to music school, and that was it. Yeah.
Did you graduate from Berkeley?
I went to Berkeley for 2 years, and then I went to SUNY Purchase in New York for the rest of my school. Yeah. But they had an orchestra.
I don't know a lot of people that graduate from Berkeley because they usually,
No, I went 2 years, and I was an arranging student. I mean, a performance arranging student. I started as an educator, but I didn't want to be an educator, so I got out of that my first semester, and then I went back to performance and arranging. And then when I went to SUNY Purchase, they had a full orchestra, so we could write for like strings. If you wanted to do strings at Berkeley at that time, you had to go around the corner to Boston Conservatory and hire string players for like $25 to get your string compositions played. So, but it was fun. It was fun going to Boston, meeting all the great cats that I met there, going to the jazz workshops in Boston and seeing all the players come, Herbie Hancock and Grover Washington, everybody came through there. So it was so cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of friends that teach there now, which is fun. People that I've toured with are now like they're professors at Berkeley.
Yeah.
Teaching there.
Yeah,
now.
guys, Walter Beasley was a student and then taught there for 25, 30 years. Yeah. Awesome.
And what was your first tour? Like, how did that happen?
Well, when you would go to Berkeley, they would come along and try to recruit you in the big bands, like the Tommy Dorsey bands or the Duke Ellington tribute bands and all that kind of stuff. And my mother said, you cannot drop out of school and join any bands. And they would try to recruit you. I mean, they really, really would. But for me, an actual real tour didn't happen until I got with Norman Connors years later as a saxophone player in Norman's band, and he toured all over the world. But I met him at Berkeley, and he was playing with Pharoah Sanders at the time. He was the drummer. So he says, I'm going to be doing records later. And he was part of that generation that started fusing, R&B, like Buster Williams was one of his best friends. And Norman was more of an avant-garde drummer. He hung with that crowd. I mean, and he was around all those cats. I mean, Lee Morgan and, even Train back in the day. So, but he had a vision for the fusion of the R&B and the jazz. Guys that came along like Dexter Wansel, of course, Quincy Jones, goes without saying. So this was the beginning of this fusion of these styles of music that led to the more contemporary music that we have now. I mean, he was one of the forefathers of that. And when I got in his band, he had major hits out like Betcha by Golly Wow, and he discovered Phyllis Hyman. And then he had You're My Starship with You're My Starship with Michael Henderson, a huge, huge hit. But that's what he did. Now he's got like guys like Herbie Hancock on these records, and Hubert Ease, Michael Henderson. So he's really starting something here, and his legacy goes on, with Norman Connors, and he's had Gene Carn through and Glenn Jones, Ada Dyer. All these great people have come through his camp, and he found me. So I give him the nod as the person that actually discovered me and took me around the world for my first time.
And your first, after you toured with him, you wanted to be a frontman.
Yeah, I mean, Najee was recording in New York. He was down. I was in Connecticut. He was down in Queens, and we knew about each other. I didn't really know him well, but he knew a couple of guys that played with me, and Najee had also gone to New England Conservatory, and Jay Rowe, the keyboard player I played with, also went to New England Conservatory with Nelson Rangel. So Ron Lawrence was a guitar player that played with us up in Connecticut, and Najee, I think he wanted Ron so he would come up and scout him out. I didn't even know he was there. He told me years later. So he didn't even come up and say anything. Isn't that funny? So he came out with his record. It was amazing. I said, I have to do this. And in order to do that, you had to make a commitment that you were going to do the best work you could do. And I couldn't do that while I was still just heading out on the road. I had to get somewhere to record and do some writing. So I took a whole year off from Norman Connors, and I took a day job. And while I started to do my tape, and I worked with Elliot Lewis from Connecticut, and we did my first record, which was For Lovers Only. It was in the can. It was, it was like, okay, I'm going to shop it around. And I went off to Japan to play and live there for a little while. And then I got a call from a friend of mine who had passed my tape on to Worthy Patterson, and his father was an exec at RCA. He was not an A&R guy, but he turned me on to Steve Backer at Novus Records, and he called me from Japan and says, man, we want to give you a deal. Come on back. And that was the beginning for me.
How old?
Early 90s. Let's see. I was in my 30s by the time I got my first deal, because prior to that, I was going to sign with Bob James a few years earlier. And he and I had done a recording together because we met through Jay Chataway, but it never happened. So it wasn't until I had gotten back on the road with Norman and decided that at some point I got to stop again and do a recording for myself, because Najee's record came out and it went like gold or something. I was like, oh my God, I got to do this. So it paid off. It's funny how things work that you would have the mindset that now that I'm going to do this, I'm going to get a day job. I'm going to work on my recording. And now that I look back, that was pretty good dedication that I did that, decided to stop working. I worked for Pitney Bowes for a while.
Okay.
As a machine operator until the machine blew up.
I was
and they were like,
your hands were like your hands.
It blew up one day and my hands were all cut up. And the guys in the shop said, don't ever come back, because they knew I was a musician. They're like, kid, you can't work in here. I worked there for a while too, like a year. But that machine blew up one day, bam, and I had shrapnel all in my hands. Yeah. Yeah, but it's so funny that the guys in the shop, don't come back.
And you made a tape. So you made a tape of like.
Yeah, because back then everything was on a cassette tape. It was on a cassette.
You still have cassettes?
Somewhere in a box. Yeah. I don't have anything to play them on.
I still have.
I met a guy on the plane, and he was worked for the government. His job was to go around collecting old tape machines, and because they need that stuff to play. Occasionally they might have to play an 8-track or DAT tape.
Sure.
And he says, I go collect as many of those as I can find. I go to tag sales, I go to old junk shops, and I'll find these, cassette players. And he goes, and we just hoard all that stuff. That's a pretty cool gig.
I have a cassette player in my car.
You do? Wow.
Yeah. So I still.
So do the cassettes still play from way back? Yeah. Yeah. I was talking about that earlier.
Milk, a milk crate, those plastic milk crates that somehow you find somewhere, they show up in your house, and it's full of cassettes, and I keep it in my car. And when my car's in California, but when I'm there, I reach back and pop in a cassette.
That's so cool. Wow.
And I demos and everything with Vicki Randall.
We were talking earlier. We grew up in a real analog world. People don't get what we say, that analog world, which is entirely different from a digital world. Our connection with the music was so organic. I mean, I can't, I don't need to tell you, but those who know what I'm talking about, was that we lived in analog, I did a recording a couple of years ago. They were still recording to tape machines, to Studers. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. You should have heard the bass. It was the saturation. It was amazing.
That's what I'm doing next week with Cookie Marenko. We record to tape.
Yeah. Oh, see, I love that.
Mhm.
Analog.
Analog, baby. I'm
The
an analog
sound goes as
girl
far as you can hear it.
right here. Analog girl. Sorry, it's just who I am. Love it or not. So when do you go out again?
Actually, next week I'm going to Charlotte to do a club date. It's going to be at the Middle C in Charlotte. Supposedly a really nice place. My first time playing there,
The middle.
and I'll be with my band.
I like
Yeah, so it's going to be fun.
Have you played the Triple Door in Seattle?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Dimitri's Jazz Alley in Seattle. Yeah,
Okay, that's a question. So when you played at Demetrius Jazz Alley, do you remember where you stayed?
I stayed. I think the last time was at what is that hotel at the top of the hill? The Waldorf or something, or the
Might be a Hilton property that's now a Waldorf property.
something like
Like
that.
that.
It's right at the top of the hill. So you walk up from Jazz Alley from the back and
Mhm.
straight up the hill, and there's a kind of a cool restaurant where the overpass is. Um, that's that hotel at the top.
So you never there's another place that he used to put people up that you walked upstairs on this like this building and you walked on
Yeah,
the
you had
side.
the apartments back then, kind of an apartments kind of thing. Oh yeah, I stayed there before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's another one that there was a porn theater downstairs. Did you ever like
Maybe.
all of a sudden it's like we got there late one night and it was
Yeah.
quiet. And then at
Yeah.
like noon we're chilling in the room and you hear
No, it was a theater or a club
the
or
theater,
a strip club.
the
It was
theater.
a theater right here. The boom boom.
I know.
Get
Yeah.
out of here, buddy.
So you have a new record. You have a new album out.
I do. And before we get into it, I'm going to take a quick little break and I will return in 1 second. That's
Okay,
okay with you. All
fine.
right. Be right back.
Bye. He's he's gonna tell us about his new album. Um, I was going to here, I could do this right now then. I can go to Instagram. Oh, it went away. I'll have to do it again. How are you guys doing? Everybody holding up okay? Just chilling. Hanging out with Marion Meadows on a Thursday night. Hello, Niels. See you soon. See you soon. Playing May 5th and 6th and 7th. No, June. I lied. Playing June 5th, 6th, and 7th in Lake County and Mendocino County. So if you want to pop on over, brother. Patty Loman in the house. Julie Luce. Post. What commercial? What do I post? Oh, you mean? Oh, good. You mean how do people support this show? This is how you support 1111 with Jenna. There are 3 ways of doing so. There's Venmo at Jenna-Mammina, PayPal.me/Jenna Sings, Patreon.com/Jenna Mammina, or P.O. Box 197, St. Joseph, Michigan 49085. And I will post that again in case you're wondering. I'm trying to select it and it won't let me select. But nope, that's not what I wanted. No. No. Do 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 do. Oh, I can't wait to hear the new album. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll just have to. Okay, so I'm going to copy and then I will paste. Thank you, Patty. And we are going to we're making plans to go to San Pancho for the San Pancho Music Festival, February 2021, kids. Come on and hang out with us. It's going to be fun. Patty's going. Rob and Carol are going. I'll be there. Ralph will be there. We're going to take over the whole hotel. It's not very big. It's, it has 8 rooms. So if you really want to be a part of 1111 with Jenna in Mexico in February of 2021, like, you think that's so far away? It'll be there. It'll be there like before we know it. But yes, next week there are still, it is sold out, but I just got a message that said there are still some tickets left. Ladies and gentlemen, Marion Meadows.
Are we going to Mexico? I didn't
Yeah,
hear anything about it.
February
Ooh,
2021. Come on.
beautiful.
Maybe Ray will come too. Who knows?
I'm coming.
All right, let's go. So, Twice as Nice.
Yes, the new album, and that makes 16. Still going. My daughter says, "So what is an album?"
Did I say 2021, Mama? I said 2021, 2022. Yeah,
2022.
2022. So, Twice as Nice.
Yeah, my daughter says, "So what is an album now?"
Oh,
I said, "Well, now."
she asked
I
you what
said,
the
"Well,
album
now."
was?
Yeah, well, I said, because you guys didn't live through that, so you missed all that. That's to your detriment, not ours. Don't get me wrong. We're just trying to keep an identity because it's a body of work now. So we'd rather call it that than a CD because we're not even sure a CD is even still around. We're kind of hanging on to it a little bit. And so we're back to albums because it's a body of work. And yeah, so funny. A guy comes up to me from, I think my first two albums you could actually get on vinyl, For Lovers Only and Keep It Right There. So a guy comes at the festival, he comes up and he goes, "Mr. Meadows," he goes, "sign my album." I go, "Where'd you get this?" I said, can I buy it from you? He says, "No." I said, "I'll give you $500. He goes, "No." I said, "I'll give you $1,000 for it." He goes, "No," he wouldn't sell it. I don't have one. Yeah.
You don't have one.
I don't have one. I used to years ago.
Does anyone have one of Marion Meadows' first records on vinyl? Anyone? We're going to find it for you.
Okay.
We're going to find that for you. What's it called?
Track it down. Well, For Lovers Only on vinyl. You can probably get it online somewhere.
We'll find
But I
it.
want it from a fan. Yeah.
He wouldn't sell it to you. So I'm just
No, but I signed it for him.
Really quick. Hold on. So just chat for a moment. And okay, I'm going to share this, and I'm going to say Marion Meadows is on 11/11 with Jenna. What's your hashtag?
Just Marion Meadows.
Is it hashtag Marion Meadows?
Uh-huh.
Okay. For lovers only.
Instagram is Marion Sachs Biker, but that's Facebook. Marion Meadows.
Help us find a copy.
I'm sure they'll come up with it.
Yeah. Music, saxophone.
Yeah, I mean, I was just in the moment of the person that had the record, and to me that was much more exotic that a fan had the record and had a chance to enjoy it.
I think
yeah. My mom excuse me, I used to give those all my vinyl records to my mother. She had them on the wall. That was cute. But yeah, Twice as Nice.
Tell us about it.
It's the new record. And I've got a chance to work with Paul Brown, producer from LA this time. We've been trying to do some things together, but Jeff Barber and I have really been trying to do a song together. It just never happened for some reason. And this time we did. We got a great tune called Lunchbox, which I almost named the record Lunchbox because I like that name. And isn't that cool? I should have just called it Lunchbox. Twice as Nice is good too. But and I get a chance to play more tenor sax on it. It's fun. It's a good record. I like it a lot. And then I got a chance to work with Paul Brown, and he and I did some great songs together. And then my real dog, Chris Big Dog Davis, he and we always do great stuff together. So I got 3 great guys to work with, and a whole bunch of great musicians joined in. And that's what makes it real now. It makes it so worthwhile. And I always say, listen, if we're not making the effort to record with one another, our colleagues, if we're not making that effort, then shame on us, because the old jazz guys had volumes of work, And I said, we need to be doing even more. But we seem to be doing, I mean, I've done records with Najee and then recently Bobby Lyle. And, so I'm just trying to make sure I have as much of a body of work for my legacy as possible with all my friends as much as possible. And that really makes it
So this
special.
one's number 16. Is it on, it's not on your label? It's you signed to somebody, it's on your own label? How are you
Oh,
doing?
no, I've done a couple of records on Shanachie Records with Danny Weiss. Yeah. So, my main two guys were pretty much always Dave, and then Danny was also a really cool guy. And so I segued over into his label after I left Concord, because Concord bought Heads Up. And so I just kind of moved over to Danny, and it was the same kind of fit, very boutique, like Dave and I had.
Yeah, but
And the
do you
ability
have
to,
as much fun? Do you
well,
laugh?
you can't have as much fun with Dave Love. Like I said, he breaks the mold. It's not the same thing. First of all, when you do records with when you did records with Dave, I had to come down and Mama had to approve.
She helped you
You
pick the songs,
think I'm
right?
lying? I had to go.
Oh,
They would put me in the chamber. They would put me in the listening chamber, and David said, "We're waiting for Ruth."
I believe it. I believe
and
it.
she would pick all the hits. She really would. It was so cool. Can't get any better than that.
She sang the other night this beautiful song, and I can't remember. I know what it was, Ruth, and I can't. My brain's not there this second. But it was so heartfelt. It was so beautiful. First, she's like, "I can't sing so well because my throat." She sang. I was crying. I walked downstairs. My mom goes, "Ruth." I go, I know, Mama. Like Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth kills it.
She
I don't
killed,
know what she's talking about.
she killed it.
She's just awesome.
Awesome,
And
awesome.
that's why I love doing the Corona karaoke's. That's fun.
Well,
I love hearing
it's
her sing.
Thursday of the month, so you're welcome
Well,
back.
you
So
know,
I want to talk about CDs for a second. Do you still have them at your shows?
yeah, for now, I think a lot of those older fans still want some sort of, something to hold on to, even if they don't play it in their car. A lot of them obviously will just, download the music, but they still like having the physical. See, they miss those album covers. I mean, that was an important part of our growing up as music fans. We got a chance to put our hands on an album. It was amazing. It was freaking amazing. And we had our album collection was something of pride and nurturing. Your album collection, how you took care of your albums, your records, and your collection of records became quite a thing. I mean, it was huge for most of us. And it was big. It was 12 inches by 12 inches. It wasn't some little thing.
And then it would
Something would
open.
open up. Yeah.
When they opened
So
up,
so cool. Yeah.
to open them
And
up, my brother's albums, and I'd find seeds in them.
yeah, right. Use it, roll it,
I'd
get the
be like,
seeds
"What?
out.
Why are there seeds in my album, my brother's albums?" And my dad's like, "Where?" I'm like, well, but then we ended up,
It
well,
was the best. I guess it was the best for the seeds. I guess we had CD pot back in those days when we were
seedy, very seedy.
they,
Yeah.
they 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 they've kind of genetically gotten rid of all that now with
Well, it's all about the lights. It's the
all
light.
about the lines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the light
right.
depth, and yeah. I lived in Mendocino for 10 years, so I know a little bit about that stuff.
Do
But
that.
so now when an album is you're releasing an album, you release it so it's on Spotify and iTunes and everything and everything and everything. Yes?
Yeah, it's multi-platform now, and you're trying to reach out as many people as possible. Of course, am I muted? Can you
No,
hear
I
me?
said multi-platform. That was like
Yeah,
it's like a hip
yeah,
multi-platform thing.
yeah. I mean, it goes across all those different streaming platforms, and then you want to try to take advantage of that. And in many ways, it's actually worked out pretty well for some artists, because at a time where we're trying to figure out where are we going with this medium, at least there's a place now where in some parts of streaming you can get paid for it, but it's still just all that is still just being defined. And for us artists who came along who were so used to selling physical products, I mean, that's where we came from. You would sell a record, you know, Whitney Houston sold 50, 100 million of those records, and Mariah Carey's 100 million of those records. I mean, that was records that had to be, you know, distributed and racked in stores. So it was
All
a
over
whole
the
different,
world. Like
all over the world.
all
Yeah.
over the world.
You remember Tower Records? That was a group. Whenever you walked into Tower Records, it was like a fantasy.
Love
Tower Records. Remember on Sunset? Tower Records on Sunset.
Sure do. I
It was
lived
like walking into like a menagerie. It was like unbelievable. It was so surreal. All those records. This is crazy.
Yeah. I mean that and like so has your daughter been in a record store?
Yeah, she has. She's very bohemian, my daughter. She's real cool.
She's
I
cool.
mean,
She
she's a
lives on
super
Maui.
smart kid.
Yes.
Yeah, she lives on Maui. She's never been like a mainstream gal. It's never been her thing. She's not really a mainstream pop. She's really into alternative. I mean, I got in the car taking them skiing, and they were playing Barry White
Hey.
and the Four Tops. They were playing the Four Tops and Barry White. Yeah. Oh, but my daughter's like that though. My daughter has a little baby, so like Maureen McGovern.
No, torn between two lovers.
Yeah. I mean, I said, so what's it with you and Maureen McGovern? She goes, you know, she doesn't sing a bad song.
She doesn't. You better turn her on to Jenna Mammina. She might like Jenna Mamina's music too.
Yes. I will do that.
McGovern. Your daughter
Yeah,
listens.
isn't that weird? And that was a little girl. When she was a little girl, I go like, where'd you get that from?
Loving both of
What
you.
happened to Aretha Franklin? Yeah,
I was listening to Aretha in my bedroom.
but she's real cool. Yeah, she's got a real kind of bohemian outlook for life. You know, she loves art. She's a very organized girl. She sees a whole another vision that's very cool. I like her vision of where humanity should go and the part that she wants to live in. And I hope it works out for her because, you know, I think a lot of kids in her generation are kind of feeling the same way.
I think that generation's going to make stuff happen.
Yeah, they're going to figure some things out. Yeah.
I've met so many, I don't know how old she is. She like 13, 14?
26. She's 26.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. That generation for sure. But 11-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
4 11-year-olds right now where I'm like, go on and just do it. Just do it.
They're deep, man.
As quickly as you can. Okay. Please.
Yeah, they're deep. I mean, kids, they have so much information now, and they're looking at ways of trying to figure it all out too. How's it going to work out? It's kind of like, what do you want to be when you grow up, kind of thing for them now.
And
so
they know.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool.
They really know. What is your daughter? What's her trip? Does she know what she's doing?
Well, okay, so I mean, she speaks fluent Japanese, and she worked. You know, she went to school for psychology, and she graduated early and did all that stuff. And then she's kind of an entrepreneur, so unbeknownst to me, so she got into like accounting for some reason. She decided, well, like I'm in like a gig where I can go anywhere and get a gig. So how about an accountant, a corporate accountant? And I go, where'd you get that from? So she did. She went and got her license to do that. And now she's got a great gig working for a company out of Honolulu that's across the whole Asian Pacific. And then, like I said, she speaks Japanese. So there's so many possibilities for her, even in this company. But in the meantime, she gets into Robinhood, and she invests in airline stocks during the beginning of the pandemic. She buys a Bitcoin at $3,000, which is now almost $60,000. And then she bought GameStop for $4.
She did it?
Yeah, and so now her portfolio, she's already made like 90,000 in 9 months. Yeah.
My nephew got on that.
That's like, dang.
My nephew's 30, 39 years old.
Look at daddy up. Yeah.
Tell me about GameStop a week before, right? Yeah.
What's that?
I said, tell me about GameStop a week before. My nephew did that too. And he's like, oh, Aunt Jenna, I should have told you about it. I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
But,
well, you know, they figured out a way of, they figured out a way of getting the price and, you know, doing that whole thing. And
that was brilliant.
They just changed the stock market. You know, they just like, we'll show you.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I loved seeing that. I didn't know what it was at first. I didn't know what had happened. And then my brother called and said, "Watch this thing on CNN tonight." Cam did, and I'm like, "What? What?" So yeah, that was really cool. Well, I would love for you to have her on. I invite her to be on the show sometime. I think that would be really fun.
Okay, that
And
would be fun. Yeah, she's a little shy, but not that shy. I'm sure she'd have maybe would want to come on.
it would be fun.
You know.
So what's up next? You're going to North Carolina North Carolina, South Carolina. I'm sorry. You said it.
Yeah, I'm going to stagger my, I've got work now coming in. So the band's going to be going just about every month now. We're going to have shows all the way for the rest of the summer. So I'll end up in Dallas in a couple of weeks and then go back to Hawaii and, kind of do the rest of my stay for what I was, my post-pandemic stay. And so I'm fully vaccinated now. So they, I don't have to do any of the protocols to go back to Hawaii now. I used to do the test and all that. So I can go back without any problems. And then sometime in June, I'm going to come back and just start hitting the road again.
Well, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be meeting up with Ray next week and we'll talk. We'll figure out.
Well, you tell that dude we need to do a song. The three of us need to do a song together. That'd be awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll call him tonight. Can we hear about Marion's art and photography?
Oh yeah, sure.
Dave Love is asking about Marion's art and photography. And also, I know we're here tonight and I love this and I want you to, can I invite you back sometime on a Thursday night?
Oh, absolutely.
Night that works.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool. Of course. Yeah, we're family now.
Yeah,
I mean, I
think that way, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I think this is important. I mean, for whoever comes and listens, we all get to benefit from conversation because conversation is at first just, we're just speaking our minds. So we get a chance to just say what's on our chest. And this is
a family. There's a core group that watches this show every day and every night. And we watch out for each other. And
that's awesome.
There are some people on here I've never been in the same room with.
That's awesome.
And there are people that, because of me, have, I've connected people. It's about community and connection. And people will say, like Jason Miles, Dave, messaged me yesterday and said, "I know I don't stop by your show, but I watch it almost every day." There are people that tell me, and they go, "I watch it." I'm like, wow. "You come on and say anything." They say, "I didn't have time. I just want to go on and check out and make sure you're there and say hi or cool. Off." But yeah, Julie and Patty and people that have never heard your music before now will go check out your music, and that's what this is about.
Awesome.
Keep it going. I'm not going to stop. I'm doing this till.
Well, you're doing. I mean, you're doing a great job, and you're important to us. I mean, that's obviously the people that are, myself included, participating is important for me, and that's again, it goes back to our community. And if it weren't not for Dave and Ruth, that's how I got to meet. I mean, I met you a long time ago, but to be a part of your show, and so they facilitated that, and here we are. And this is what we need in life right now.
It is.
Yeah, we need to be able to support one another and to reaffirm that it's going to be okay. Don't get stuck in the mud, because right now we're still moving forward, and that's an important part for all of us to play. We really should take note. So anyway, but I do have some artwork that I do now, so which kind of came off the, I guess, same side of my brain, and I used to do that when I was younger, and then I started dabbling in Photoshop and then doing graphic design and painting, and then it all kind of fell together into something that's a combination of sometimes my photography, sometimes my graphic design skills, and my ability to paint. I have a real vibrant imagination of art, and I I think I could show you, right, the website or something.
Yes, you're a co-host.
Let me see. Well, I could show you some of the. Let me just see here what I have.
Yes, he is. Bill Winokur says that Marion is one classy guy.
Oh, well, thank you,
Bill's
Bill.
a wonderful drummer from Boston. Bill and Bo Winokur, the brothers.
Bill, my man.
Hmm. For sure.
Let's see. So am I able to share right now? Right at the moment?
You
Let's
should be
see.
able
So,
to.
okay.
'Cause I
So,
made you
so,
your co-host.
okay, I can share my screen. Okay, so then where do I do that? I open up
Yep, you are a co-host.
okay, cool. There we go. So what am I showing?
And I'll put this on speaker, so you are now
I
speaking.
share my desktop. Oh, you can now see my, okay. So over here, I do believe I have some art pieces. And here are some. So this is the exhibit. This is an exhibit that I had called Trees and Birds. And this is in a,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that's in an office actually in New York.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so I like colors and vibrant colors. And over here is an actual, this was like what part of my Cosmos series in a triplet. So and then I have a series called the Swinging Girl, and this is the Swinging Girl. And she comes and she's with the little dog and the Swinging Girl. So, and she's
Oh,
swinging in a lot. Yeah, she's swinging in a lot of different scenes, and her and the little dog are swinging, and then she's swinging red, and this is her swinging red right here. That's swinging red.
oh wow. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they swing all over the place. They got Swinging Enchanted, and you know, and then we have this is the little cooler girl. Oh, so this is some of my photography painted over, and this is from Ghana, and this is actually at the art exhibit in New York right now at the New York Art. Should come up here. There we go. Yeah,
Where is it? Where in New York?
at New York Art. It's the New York Art Gallery. It's called NY Art Gallery. So
Hmm.
they have this piece, and these are Ghana fishermen that I actually when I was in Ghana up on Cape Coast,
So
and
you
then I have another one.
photographed and then you colorized it. You
Well,
photoshopped.
what I do is I'll go over the photo and I'll start painting with a brush, and that's what I do.
Wow.
And I'll do it takes quite a while, and then I'll paint it and paint it, you know. And then I have another one, and this is the cooler. No, this is another Ghana fisherman. It's coming. Here it is. Yeah, that's another one.
Wow.
Kind of got a kaleidoscope
Oh
kind of
my
vibe.
goodness, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And you keep looking, you just see more and more stuff. You see these guys, and there's a guy actually down here pulling a boat. If you look at the bottom, you don't even see
Uh-huh.
him at first.
And how big is this piece?
These pieces are pretty large. They're minimum 45, 50 inches. These pieces. They're very large. And this piece is 45 inches. The other one I think is 60 inches, the one I just showed you. And let me see. I even have
Really
let's see
incredible.
if I have the Pear Beach here. A
Telling you
painting.
guys, share the show. People, I mean, I knew this about you, but didn't know this about. Like, wow. Do you design your own CD covers?
I do, as a
Yep.
matter of fact.
Have
Yeah,
you
Pear Beach.
always been able to do that?
No, no. I think I started dabbling in that when I got with Dave, and Dave already had a great graphic design person, but he started letting me use some of my designs, and that's kind of how it started, to tell you the truth.
Hmm.
Here it is. This is a painting, Pear Beach,
Which one? Oh,
right
what?
here. Just yeah. That's I have it right here. I have it here. It's a small painting. It's only 14 inches. And I think it's
Wow.
called
Pear Beach.
Pear Beach. Yeah. If you look way down in the back, there's some dirigibles back there. There's some, and then the crane is taking the top off the pear while they're doing the repairs on it. The guys are repairing the pear. If you look closely, some
Wow.
guys on scaffolding.
What inspired you to paint Pear Beach?
I have no idea. I haven't a
I
clue.
mean, that's like heavy, man. That's like, and there's birds flying over in the other side, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
way,
See, and they're doing, yeah, and like over here, the steam water's coming off the thing
that's
and
way
it's
far
going
out.
down a little creek over here. And, but there actually is a beach on the other side.
Do you
Yeah.
ever
I don't
get
know.
bored?
Who, me? No, it's impossible. No, no way. Not me.
Pear
You know, I don't even have enough hours in the day to do all the stuff that I do, but it's fun. I'm on downtime now, so I'm just chilling. But I always find something to do
Uh-huh.
without fail.
And
Yeah. Uh, what was that?
do you sleep well?
You know, I do. I mean, for years I was like a guy that, you know, being typical musician, I could, you know, I didn't require a whole lot of sleep, but I like to sleep more now, you know, get more sleep in. Let me see if I have anything else for you guys. Any fun stuff.
Really amazing.
Uh, yeah, I think that's about it for now.
I
But
think
it's
we have
all at the website, marionmeadows.com. Here's a
Mar-
great picture for Dave Love, if Dave is still watching.
Oh, he's watching.
And he's gonna love this. This is a photo that I took. It's called Titi's By and Jazz on the Rocks, which Dave turned me on to, where you go and party for a few days on the beach, and everybody stays on the beach, and they build a stage on the rocks.
What?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It is like, are you kidding me? This is the gig of all gigs. And you camp out on the beach. There's like 5,000 people camped out on the beach. They have the music on the stage over the rocks with this beautiful view. It's unbelievable.
And this is where?
This is in South Africa,
This is the one. Okay, this is the one that, yeah, okay.
up on the west coast from Cape Town,
Okay.
and called Titi's By.
Yeah, I've wanted Dave to come on and talk about this one of these days. Dave, he's here. Hi, Ruth. Happy birthday. Still her birthday. Wow. So
Happy
you shout. So this is
birthday
to you.
to you. Happy birthday.
And he sings.
Ruthie.
Have you ever sang on any of your records?
Oh, I did once. I did some hey baby, what's happening?
You did?
Yeah. Hey baby, yeah. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I never sang anything. If I do, I got like a baritone voice. I'm like
Yeah, you do.
I'm not even Barry White baritone. I got some other kind of like Arthur Prysock or something.
He wants to know how many times you did that.
What was that?
Jazz on the Rocks. How many times?
I did it. Well, let me see. 2 or 3 times I've done it.
Yeah, you are really talented. Like
Thank
I'm
you.
trying to, do you bake?
No, not a baker.
Not a baker.
No. No, I used to make a cheesecake because I had a spring pan and I knew how to make a cheesecake with part ricotta. You know, when the Italians do the ricotta cheesecakes.
Yeah.
And I made a really good one, but I would mix it both, a little bit of both, and have a layer of the cream cheesecake with a little ricotta on top.
Yeah. So some Wednesday morning you'll have to come and bake with Patty and I. We
Well, I
bake
don't know
we do
about
a
all
little
that.
ricotta. We do all kinds of stuff on the show.
I know you do. I bet you do.
Patty.
And I used to make a banana bread with a lot of blueberries in it. Banana blueberry bread. It was like almost too many blueberries.
Yum.
Yeah.
I don't think you can ever have too many. You can never have too much lemon or too many blueberries.
Yeah, gotta have that. Yeah, gotta have that vanilla. So anyway, But I do like to cook though. I almost every night. I don't hardly ever go out to eat. I usually cook every night.
So Wednesday nights you can come cook with us.
Well, I do
Just
that. That I could do. Yeah,
oh,
I got some. I got some. Gunslinging recipes.
what's one of your if we were gonna come over to your house and you were gonna make dinner, what would it be?
Well, it'll probably be some sort of fish, or salmon or something. But I put lots of stuff. I'll artichokes and peppers and onions and then I'll maybe some squash and stuff. So I'll put lots of stuff in there, depending on what I have in the refrigerator. It'll all go in there. Peppers and spice it with olive oil, you know,
Mhm.
and that's all you need.
Marion
Yeah.
competed in the largest cycle race in the world.
I did. Yeah, being a cyclist, they have the tour, what they call it, tour of the Cape right now, because it's Cape Town, South Africa, but it used to be the Argus. I believe I'm saying that right. And it's a race around Cape Town, and it's tough. It's a lot of climbing. It's not a long race. It's only about 66 miles. So it's not a super long race, but it's fast. And so I did that a few years ago. Dave and I had gone down. We did Jazz on the Rocks. I trained up in Paternoster, up on the West Cape. That's where I trained.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So those guys, they made sure I got out of the house early in the morning, get on my bike, and go training. And then the race, the guys were like a bat out of hell. They broke my derailleur on coming over, and then we had to go get it welded. And then the derailleur so during my race, I kind of lost a whole bunch of time, but it was fun. It was cool.
So you're like a Renaissance man.
Well, I mean, I guess so. I guess you could say that. I mean, I can't ever stop being fascinated and wanting to try new things.
What's your
And
next thing? We
I really don't know. I think I'm going to start traveling around the world doing photography. Like I'm going to take advantage of some trips to like maybe Norway or Iceland or, New
Iceland's
Zealand or
cool.
something.
I love Iceland.
Yeah.
Iceland's cool.
So I've kind of got it set in my mind that I'm going to start, just traveling and doing some photography that
And do you integrate it in with your gigs or just
no, these would just be trips that I would just, embark on some different journeys, maybe mountain bike into some places with some cameras or, whatever.
so let me know when
I've
that is.
always been a digger.
Go and we'll
Huh?
11 we'll do some 11-11s with you. Marion on the road with Marion.
Yeah, there you go. My new thing has been birds. I've been doing so many birds. I shoot
See, I
so
knew
many
there was
birds.
something. I was waiting. Okay, so it's birds.
Well, I've
Birds.
been doing a lot of birds lately. I'm like the bird man, but I got this I got this big lens now. It's like, the birds see me coming like, dude, really?
All right. You're bigger
The
than
birds are like, come
bigger
on,
than we are. Yeah, my sister
come
has
on.
one of those. She always
You really see them.
stage because
Look,
she's got this lens. Look, ooh, she's
yeah.
got to be somebody because she's got that 3-foot lens. Yeah.
Yeah, I was down in Georgia. I was at Norman Brown's place, and he's on a lake, and they had the cranes out there. And I'm sneaking around the cranes. So, look, we're not going to stay here. You better start shooting because we're getting ready to start flying. So I got the big lens. They go, you need a camouflage, dude.
Did you ever
You
develop
see the birds. They're looking at it like, we're going to fly. We're flying.
Did you ever shoot film and
I
develop?
did. Sure. Yeah, sure I did. Yeah. That was fun. Although I never developed it. I never got to that level.
I did that.
Photography as a hobby for me came later. And I was more already into the digital age, by the time that hobby came my way.
Oops, I did something wrong. I did #MarionMeadows.com. I didn't mean to do that. I can't.
Oh, and then there is a Marion Meadows photography as well. If you
Oh,
want to go see. Yeah, and that's also, and Marion Meadows Atmospheres. I'm sorry, people. If it's just Atmospheres, use my name. And all together, Marion Meadows Atmospheres, plural with an S, is my art site.
So,
and Marion Meadows Photography.
Okay. www.marionmeadows. What? Atmosphere?
Atmospheres with an S. Yeah.
.com. Check it out. Check it out, everybody. Marion rode with Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, I didn't race with Lance Armstrong. We trained together when he came out to Arizona. Those guys, I'm an avid cyclist and I rode on a team that raced and everything, but those guys were the pro guys, the real elite, like Formula One bicycle racers. And Lance Armstrong,
Well,
and
yeah.
Lance Armstrong was he was an amazing athlete, but he was a little cocky, and I think his arrogance got him in the most trouble because it wasn't that he was just a doper. When you went to Europe and rode bikes with those guys, everybody in the Tour de France had to use enhancing drugs. You didn't race on that level. So when those guys got there, Tyler Hamilton and Lance Armstrong, those European guys were already way ahead as far as the doping programs.
Yeah.
And so you're already an amazing cyclist anyway, that you would never be able to keep up with these guys in a multi-stage race. So they all did it. So unfortunately, the biggest fallacy is people think Lance Armstrong was the only one doping. He wasn't. They all were. Yeah. So, but they were amazing athletes. We would ride with these guys. We would train with these guys, and then all of a sudden, we were down 90 miles out or something, and down in some lake or something. And those guys would just
Be gone.
They just take off. Oh my God! It was just they practice 100 miles a day.
Dave says he bought you a bell and a basket for that session.
Dave's
He's even funny on Facebook. You can just write something and it's funny.
Dave was like, you make sure that you blow the little horn when you pass us. No, he did. I'm just kidding.
Ring, 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 ring.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was cool.
Marion,
that was fun. That was fun. There were 35,000 cyclists that day. 35,000.
Marion Meadows is on my show right now, you guys. This is so cool. This is so cool. This is what 11:11 is all about. The magic happens. And it's Friday morning, so it's all good. But I definitely, I'm going to bug you to come back to Coronaroki and come back for a conversation sometime when you're on the road, for sure. Please, please.
I'm there. I will be there. Definitely.
Thank you. Well, I did post a reel on Instagram, and a couple of people have liked it. So, you might hear about that album sooner than later.
Cool.
I'm going to find that album for you.
You will find it. I'm sure you will.
I know.
It's so funny. When we used to go touring in Japan back in the day, the Japanese would have everything. They have all your albums. They know all your songs. They're amazing. They're just amazing.
I've performed there. They sing my songs. I'm like, how do they know that? How do they know that song?
The depth of their fanship is crazy, right? They know your music inside out. It's like a religion with the fans in Japan. I tell people all the time. It's funny. A lot of them know more about our jazz history than a lot of people in our own country know. I hate to say that, but that's very true. Anyway,
my first two records, they were distributed in Japan, and so they put the obi on the outside, and it was all in Japanese, and that was really fun.
Yeah,
really fun to see. Rob Morocco is watching. So Canada, there's people still here, but I want to kind of leave them wanting more.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
I'm not trying to
always.
I'm just saying. I'm like, holy what? Titi? Hola Titi. Hola Titi.
Hola Titi.
Hola Titi.
Yeah, I had it on Facebook for a minute here. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, definitely share the show, and you'll have people watching it, and I'll have people watching it, and then my friend Bill puts all the shows on YouTube.
Oh, he does. Okay, awesome, fantastic.
I have quite the crew these days. T-shirts are coming out, all kinds of everything.
I want a T-shirt.
You'll get a T-shirt. You'll definitely when you're cycling.
And have you ever seen? I post sometimes some of my videos when I'm cycling. And
they're beautiful.
Have you seen? The other day I got a little out of control, though. I gotta say that I was I was trying to videotape. I didn't have GoPro, and my dude's like, "Why don't you have the GoPro?" I said, "It's too lazy to put it on." We had a GoPro going during the race, Dave and I, for the race in South Africa.
Where do you keep it?
On the, well, I had mine on the bicycle,
Oh, okay.
but not on my helmet. You could put them on your helmet, but mine was on the bicycle handlebars. So,
I would
so you
think that on your helmet
hold it.
would be like
Yeah, like a lot of bike guys do it on their helmet, so they get that rush.
do you mountain bike?
I'd like to mountain bike. I don't have one now, and I've just been such a road biker for so long. But I would love to. I'm going to start mountain biking in a
You're in
while.
Nashville.
Yeah, my buddy takes Woody Harrelson out every Tuesday and Thursday up in where we live. He lives up where we are, and they go mountain biking on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So he's invited me to come out, and so I just have to get a mountain bike now.
So, oh,
With
so
him and
you're
Woody.
way up.
Yeah, they're up country.
Yeah.
Kula, yeah, and they go up on the crater. Yeah.
Yep. I used to
Everything's
hang out up there.
cooler,
Kula's,
cooler and cooler.
I love Kula. It's where I used to stay where the two dogs, the two dogs, the two statues, the two dogs.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I ride my bike around the backside, Cool Lodge, all around there, and so the other day I did make a video, so I had to stop. I put the phone down. I didn't have a videographer, so I had to film myself back. I had to put it down, and then come back, ride past on the bike, and then come back and get it. Yeah, and I did it all over like my ride up the hills, and then I put it. It took forever, and then I got home and edited, in Final Cut. So
you know how to edit it too. You do it all. You're like Marion Meadows Productions.
well, you have to do that stuff nowadays. I think everyone should spend a little, if that's what your interests are, and you can learn so much on YouTube, just stuff from just tutorials there. Will teach you a lot of things.
I'm learning
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
But I kind of took to the whole, that's like doing music for us, the Final Cut, it's layering. So when you're doing film, it's kind of like when we're doing the music, layering the tracks and stuff. It's very similar. Once you learn the little, which buttons to push, it's pretty much the same thing. You're creating, it's just a visual version of us, of our ears.
All right, I'll learn how to do Final Cut Pro.
Oh, it won't take long. I'll teach you. I can give you all kinds of tips. No problem. Yeah, shortcuts.
I'm pretty okay. I'll take you up.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
his historical jazz series?
Well, so that was something that I decided to do because, I think where I'm going now with my journey is at some point to be an educator in the sense that I want to try to help people, younger students, get a connection to where our real jazz history is, because that's a part of America that we've kind of left behind, and it's put us in trouble. The reason that we're in a lot of trouble right now in this country is because we don't understand the importance of our culture and how much that was a bedrock for us. People came here because of our swagger and our style. I mean, they loved the whole American, what we were building, our music, our culture meant so much to us. So we grew up on it. And we grew up on Nat King Cole and Ella Fitzgerald and the Beatles. And, but right here in America, we had great country music artists who had ancestors who had come from Ireland, and they brought the Celtic, picking and bluegrass and jazz players and slaves and the blues note, the minor third, all these things came into existence and were born right here in this country, which gave us the foundation of something magical just from the art alone. It propped us up so much that it would become the salvation many times in times of uncertainty. The music would come through, and we invented that here, and would lead the charge for our survival in terms of we had something to talk about and hold on to. So when you say, what makes you proud to be an American? Well, tell me, what does make you proud? Because I know one thing what makes me proud is our culture. And I'd be damned if I'm going to like watch and see our children not even have a sense of what that is. Because like I said before, going to Japan and seeing kids that know more about our cultures, that's unacceptable, And it has gotten us in trouble right now. We're searching for an identity, and we already had it.
We are so lost.
We already had it. There was a reason there was a Frank Sinatra and a Sammy Davis Jr. and a Elvis Presley there was a reason for that. And to to not understand that that's the thing that's been propping us up all along in an arena where we've never had to worry about any sort of discrimination or bigotry or any of that stuff. It all fell on the umbrella of love and the love of the music and the feeling that it gave you, because it was analog.
Go with you.
And it, yeah. So, and that's what I keep saying. Our generation all have PhDs in culture because we grew up with it. It's not something to even mess with. We already have it. It's part of our DNA. What are we searching for? We already have it. It's here. It's already been anointed to us all through our music. Those songs, whether it was a R&B song or a rap song or a country music song that sang about the simplest thing, we've all heard them and they've become a part of our existence because that's where you go to when there's somebody singing that song about something in your life that's going on. It's already, we've been singing those songs forever. What else are we searching for? What other magical message are we trying to get? It's already here. It's part of us. So we need to practice what we're singing.
And people can watch this somewhere. I'm so with you. Like I'm not even saying anything because I'm
we go back and we talk about early musicians like Freddie Keppert and Bunk Johnson and Jelly Roll Morton. We talk about Sidney Bechet and King Oliver and his discovering of Louis Armstrong. We talk about Louis Armstrong's history, Ella Fitzgerald. We talk about Billie Holiday. We talk about the associations that these people were making along the way. Lil Hardin, who married Louis Armstrong, and she was a piano player. And then I talk about when the men were at war, there were these big bands, all women big bands, and a couple of them were mixed big bands. And so they travel around the country, and because they had they had Asians and black players and white players in the same band, that they weren't even allowed to play in certain places, and they were women. So those are some of the things. So we as musicians and that was one of the women in that series. When you watch it, you'll say, well, you close these curtains and you're not going to know who's playing that instrument. You're not going to know if it's a woman, a man. You won't know who it is.
Can you post a link for that, Dave?
Sorry?
Can you or Dave post a link for that so we can watch, so people can watch that?
Oh, sure. Where do I post? Where can I post that?
On the conversation on Facebook. Or Dave, do you know?
No, I got it right here. Yeah,
okay
sure. Do it right here. Okay, it's Marion Meadows. Okay.
Thank you.
And it's Vintage Jazz Sundays. And we have 3 episodes. I'm going to start them up again this year.
Okay, Lillian. Lillian's looking at me like, maybe sometime Lillian can be in your one of your dogs if you ever need another dog to photograph. I have a photogenic
absolutely.
puppy girl, Lillian Pearl. She's looking at me like, Mom, you packed yet? No, Lillian, I'm not packed yet.
Oh, that's right. You guys are going.
We're
you
leaving.
guys are on your way.
We're jumping out.
So here it is, Vintage Jazz Sundays on YouTube.
Oh, good. Oh, fun.
Yeah. You go to my YouTube channel. So
yep.
That's it. There it is. I just posted it.
Marion Meadows Vintage Jazz Sundays. YouTube. Cool. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. I've had a ball. Let's continue. I could talk forever, so I don't want to wear the people out, but we'll carry on another time some more. But I think we ended on a really good note, because that's why I love you so much, because you just put out a wonderful branch for all of us to be able to latch onto, filled with all this love. And it's important for us to do that. And this is, people go to church to get this same feeling we're doing right here. I mean, I'm going to church. Well, this is church. This is when you let your soul, go, and you allow us to do that. So thank you. I really appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the sisterhood,
Here.
And happy birthday once again to the one and only
Love!
Love.
Thank you, Marion. And thank you for acknowledging and hanging. And yes, he is. Yeah, we learn. Everyone learns from 11:11. There's always something to learn here. And you're inspiring. And everything you say resonates so deep in my soul. And your music I've loved for so many years. And I just want to thank you for being you.
Likewise. Well, thank you. Thank you, Gina.
You're welcome.
All
Thanks
right.
everybody for being here tonight.
Jenna Mammina.
You. Another standing ovation for you. Marion Meadows, round of applause. Thank you. Oh, that's right, James Taylor. I go from James Taylor to Jackson Brown or James Taylor to the Jackson 5 like that. Sheila says good night. Everyone say
good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you, Marion.
Hey, guys. All right. Good night.
Bye. I'm on cloud 11 times 11 times 11 times 11. Incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Dave, for giving us all those prompts and questions, and come on and hang out with me sometime. But I know your birthday, it's a birthday party tonight. Incredible. Wow. I know I could have done that till 3 a.m, but and I do have to pick up my bags. So you guys, we'll see you in the morning quickly. Tomorrow's going to be a show because I got to get to Chicago to get on the airplane to fly to San Francisco and then go to Oakland and then go everywhere else. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Marion, if you're still here, and everyone else involved with it tonight. You make it so great. Have a great night. Sleep well. Eat, drink, stay healthy. Be nice. Come from love. Start with love. It is all love. That's why I do this show. That's why I sing. That's why I'm here. It's true. Lovely thoughts, loving words, and the most lovable heart. Mama Grace, I'll see you in a minute because I'm going to give you a big hug. What an inspiring being. Thank you. Good night. Good morning. Love hard. Really hard.